Hi, thanks for joining me today. This is the project that I wanted to share with you today. I am going to walk you through the project and then show you a couple tips from how I made it. I was inspired to make this little mini album by the mini Valentine note that I made for my Start to Finish Sunday video recently, and also my upline brought a project idea back from Stampin Up leadership where they had used the Petite Pocket Die to create a Valentine's countdown calendar. So that is what I used. I used the Petite Pockets to make this little 14 Things I Love About You mini album. So I just want to walk you through the album first of all. You can see each little page is one of the Petite Pocket dies that I embellished, and then they have the little insert, the little tabbed insert that comes out, and so that was where you can write all the different things you love about your Valentine. And I just embellished each of them with just some products I had on hand, and the number dies unfortunately are not from Stampin Up, but Stampin Up does have some number dies available. I just didn't have them. So here's number 3. You can see on some of them I used little ribbons for the tabs, and some I used, these are stamped die cuts. Punches. And here's the last page. So you can see my color combination for this. I took from the More Amore designer paper, which is what I used for a lot of the numbers and a lot of the embellishments. So I used Pool Party, Real Red, and Primrose Petals. And what I did when I was making this book was I prepped all my little Petite Pockets, and I'll show you how I did that in just a minute. But I just went through my stash and I took everything that I have that is Pool Party, Real Red, or Primrose Petals. All the ink pads, all the markers, lots of different, the More Amore designer paper, but then also the In Colors paper stack and the Brights paper stack. I used a lot of those, plain cardstock. And I just spread it all out all over my desk. And I had all my envelopes ready to go, and I did each one randomly. I just kind of pulled from things here and there. And I had a ton of fun putting this together. I didn't really think about it that much. I just grabbed things off my desk because I already had it all laid out. You can see I also used a lot of the Hearts of Flutter stamp set and framelits, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So that was one of the things that I used, these hearts here, and as well as all of these stamped banners that I used as the little tabs. Those are all from the Hearts of Flutter stamp set, which coordinates beautifully with this More Amore designer paper. So let me just take a minute to show you how I made these little pocket pages out of the Petite Pocket die. This is the Petite Pocket die, and you can see it is one of the longer dies, so you will need the extended cutting pads with it. I like to use just half a sheet of cardstock. So this is 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, cut in half the long way, so it measures 4.25 by 11, and it fits over top of the die very nicely. And then all you need to do is just put your second extended cutting pad on top, and you can see I cut out I cut out 14 of these, so you can see that my plate is getting kind of messy. But then you just run this through your Big Shot. Okay, and here's how this comes out of the Big Shot. So you can see these are the pieces that it cuts out. We're not going to use these little circles that would be for the closure of the envelope. And I just want to say, when you're cutting these out, if you're doing a little mini album like I did, save these scraps. This is great for as you're grabbing things, coordinated items and papers. This is great for punching and die cutting little elements. You can use these pieces along the side here, make great little banners. So save this for your embellishments. So then here is our die, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold it on all the score lines. It's going to give you all the score lines that you need. But I am not going to fold on, there's a score line here. I'm not going to fold that one. It would be for the top fold of the envelope. So I'm just going to fold these two in and then this one up. And one thing that I do like to do on this die is on these flaps here, just come in and cut that flap off at a little bit of an angle on both sides, and that is going to make it a little bit easier for you to assemble. The bottom flap is going to fold up a little bit nicer for you. Then what you want to do is, I don't know if you can see, there is a score line right here. I'm going to take this to my paper cutter and line it up so that the blade is right along that score line, and I'm just going to cut this top flap off. So now you've got two pieces that look like this. This is the part we're going to use for our pocket, and again, save this piece. This is a great size for stamping little embellishments, little elements. Great for, you know, you can punch things out, you can die cut things out. So when you're putting together your petite pockets, save these pieces, save all your scraps so you can use them to create your embellishments. Now I'm going to put my pocket together, and I like to use this really super skinny score tape. Unfortunately, the sticky strip that Stampin' Up sells is a little bit too wide because this is sort of a tapered flap here, and if you put it along this side or on the inside of this flap here, inevitably I end up sticking my envelope together, you know, to the inside. So if you don't have a super skinny sticky tape like this, you can always use Tombow, just a little line of Tombow along the edge of this flap would work perfectly fine too. But this is what I have on hand. This is what I'm going to use for today. Okay. And then you just fold the sides in and fold that flap up. And there you have your adorable little petite pocket that you can decorate and put your little insert inside of. And then I just punched holes in the top corner of all of my pockets, and I used one of these book rings that I just got at my local office supply store to bind the book all together. And then to make the little inserts to go inside, I used a piece of designer paper that measures 2 by 4 and a piece of Very Vanilla that measures 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I just layered these together. And then you can use along the side any sort of punched or die cut little element, or you can staple on a piece of ribbon to be your little pull tab. And you can see that just fits in there like that. Now, because I don't have the hole punched in the ring here, it does slide in more. When you have the hole punched, it won't slide in as far. It'll stick out a little bit. It's going to look like that. I'll bring my book back in. You can see how that works. You can see here how they stick out a little bit more because it hits that ring. It doesn't go all the way in. So here you can see I just stapled on some of the seam binding ribbon. This one I used one of the stamps and die cuts from the Hearts of Flutter set. Here's another one of the little die cuts from Hearts of Flutter, and I added a little small heart punch there. So this is a fun way to make a cute little mini album for a great gift for Valentine's Day. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this idea. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and give it a try for yourself and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for another video. Until then, happy stampin'. Bye-bye.